Hey, good evening everybody, it's Steve with Real Progressives. I figured I'd wear a funny hat, maybe even make some funny jokes as we go along through this. It's frickin' cold right now in Pennsylvania. But the thing that's really got me cold, I went to my father's celebration of life today. And, I spoke and talked about what my dad meant to me. And I spoke to them about how my father was, he died on my 10-year anniversary for sobriety. And, as I was sitting there, I kind of kept fading off into my own head. And what ended up happening? I ended up thinking about our movement for some reason. This stuff kept coming up in my head. And you like the hat? Isn't that kind of fun? In any event, all that kept coming to me is that I'm probably never going to see the kind of progressive revival in my lifetime that I would like to see. I'm 47 years old, and I plan on living for a while. But it hit me like a ton of bricks. No matter what, the establishment is never going to be afraid of us when we can't even unite as progressives against the establishment. I was in my own group, my own real progressives group, for crying out loud, looking. And there are people in there talking about how dare you judge me for voting for Hillary? Bernie said to do it. How dare you, whatever, right? And it was at that moment I said, the establishment has no reason to fear progressives. It was in that moment that I realized the establishment has no reason to fear progressives. Then the worst part was the op deny 270 people. The other ones that are splitting the vote yet again with a guy who's not even running anymore. So now you've got people saying, well, Bernie told me to. Then you got the other side of the cult of personality saying, well, I'm writing him in. Then you got the one person still running. And they're like, well, if the Green Party wanted my vote, they would have done more on the ground. They would have done more locally. They would have done more this, that, and the other. If I was the establishment, I would laugh at progressives. You've got nothing, man. I would laugh at you all day long if I wasn't one of you. But I am one of you. And I feel like I got gut punched when I woke up to that, and I realized there's too many people that don't have a frickin' clue what it means to win something, that are more willing to split us up with bullshit. Don't tell me how to vote. Oh, that's not very progressive, telling me how to vote. Don't tell me how to vote. That's not telling you how to vote. You support the next progressive in line. That's it. It's simple. It's like the most simple thing in the frickin' world. But we'll screw even the most simple plan up because we gotta be different, damn it. We just gotta be cool. We just gotta be special. If I was the establishment, I would laugh at progressives all day long. I'd have no fear of them. Zero fear. And that is depressing for this progressive who wants them to fear us desperately. So I figured, like I said, I'd wear a funny hat while I do my thing, because why in the world would they care about a guy with a funny hat? Why would the establishment care about a guy with a funny hat when the rest of the people running around, write in Bernie, write in the guy that's not running? It's really cool. It'll make the establishment petrified of us. I'm serious. It will make them so scared of us. They're not gonna know what to do with themselves. The establishment's gonna be running running, because we're going to write in Bernie. And they're scared to death now. They're trembling in their boots. So why not wear a funny hat if that's as lame as this movement's going to be? Why not? Why not wear a freaking bozo nose? They're not going to be afraid of us, guys. There's no reason to fear a bunch of fools going this way and that way. Why would you be afraid? Dead serious. Why would you be afraid of that? I can't think of a reason to be afraid. I'd laugh all the way. They sit there and they show who they are in their emails. You'd have never seen that. Thank you, WikiLeaks. They've shown who they are. Yet there's still people in the shallow end of the intellect pool voting for Hillary. They call themselves progressive. They use the word progressive when they describe themselves. Doesn't that piss you off? And the Op Deny 270 people stripping away votes from the one progressive still running? Folks, I'm telling you right now, if I was the establishment, I would laugh at us. We got nothing, man. We got nothing. There is absolutely no reason to fear a progressive revolution. We got the intelligent people over here understanding modern monetary theory. Then we got the people that can't even explain basic Keynesian economics, talking about ending the Fed. They don't even know the basics of Keynes, yet they sit there and run their mouth about, and the Fed! Why would you be afraid of us? The least intelligent in our midst are the loudest and are running people left, right, and center. Why would you fear that? I don't fear it. I'm ashamed of it, quite frankly. And I'm feeling a little bit hopeless right now, but I don't want to be. I want to lead a charge of intellectual people that want to do something right, that aren't dividing here and dividing there, going with the latest flavor of the day. But we got way too many people that know very, very little about subjects that they talk an awful lot about. Man, they've got wisdom on loan from God, but they don't know shit about the subject. And they're ready to lead people here and lead them over here, lead them all over the place, instead of us having one column so we can make the establishment truly afraid of us. If I were the establishment, I certainly wouldn't fear progressives. We can't get out of our own way, folks. And I'm watching the Op Deny 270 people talking shit about people. Progressives need somebody to fall behind, so they're going after Jill. You know what? Personally, Jill doesn't have modern monetary theory down well enough for me to go, yeah, Jill. But she is the next progressive standing, so I'm fighting for her. The Green Party has a terrible ground game. But guess what? Until I'm part of that ground game, who am I to judge, damn it? I got work to do on my end. They got a terrible ground game. Why am I supporting the Green Party? What have you done to help them? Snapperhead. What have you done to help them? You just sitting there in your catbird seat judging? Is that what you're doing? Is that really what you're doing? Tula pula 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 peasy? Yeah. If you're not going to sit there and help out, nobody needs your judgment. Nobody needs your commitment here, folks. People need people that are actually doing, thinking, participating. And this whole idea that splits votes left, right, and center doesn't show the establishment that we are really, really anything to be taken seriously. We are not someone to be feared. I wish we were. I wake up every morning hoping I can create a situation on my end, at least, where progressives are feared, where they're at least taken seriously incredibly. One of the Podesta emails that came out talked about how they just need a small core of the Bernie loyalists to jump over because she's got plenty of Republicans to help her. They just need a small core of the Bernie people to help out. Folks, if we're not united, there's no reason for them to sweat anything we have to say. Don't tell me how to vote. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Some asshole had the nerve to say I was hard on Bernie. I'm not hard on Bernie. I love Bernie. I'm hard on the moron sitting there trying to divide the progressive movement to a guy who's no longer running and doesn't want your vote. I'm not hard on Bernie. I love Bernie. I'll be supporting Bernie when he's in Senate. But he doesn't want your vote. He said it. And he told us if he tells you how to vote, not to listen. You guys want to be feared? You want to be taken seriously? You want to see change? Act like it. Act like it. Stop playing patty cake. So disappointed. Not even joking, folks. I'm not even joking. Every time I see these hashtag OpDeny270, I just say, screw it. Maybe I should watch football again. Maybe I should go back to watching hockey every night. Maybe I should get laid more often. Maybe I should do something other than this, because these OpDeny270 people are more than willing to take away from the validity of the one party that can challenge Hillary in 2020. So they're not just setting us up for a screw right now. They're fucking us for 2020 too. If I were the freaking establishment, I would laugh at progressives. We are a joke when we behave that way. And I'm just the kind of guy that's going to tell it to you. I love you still. It's got nothing to do with my love. It's got to do with the fact that I love the movement more. And you're killing it. You're shooting. It's a gunshot wound to the junk. That's what it is. It's a gunshot wound to the junk. There's no reason to fear progressives. We got media personalities running around worrying about themselves, not worrying about the movement. We got people dividing and stuff, coming up with new ways to screw the pooch. We got new people coming up with bizarre theories to divert people from truth. Why would you fear that? Seriously. We're scattered like little teeny mice. I mean, just... Unless we unite, there's nothing to fear, gang. And I'm not talking about unite for the sake of uniting. I'm talking about uniting behind truth. You want to win, you want to change the world, you got to do something different. You got to be revolutionary. A revolutionary act requires some thought. Splitting the progressive vote, shitting on a third. Do you realize whatever third party comes in, let's say a brand new progressive party comes up in 2020. Can we all go through all the reasons why people will say they can't win? Oh, well, what have they done at the local level? You can't have a party running at the presidential level without local politics. You can't do it. You just can't do it. Damn it, Kirk, I'm a doctor, not a politician. What do you want, folks? What do you want? You create a progressive party now, it's going to go through the same early phase stages that the Green Party's gone through. I don't love the Green Party, folks. I do not love them. They're not my faves. I love much of what they stand for, but they have made some mistakes. But they need our help if we want to fix it. And sitting there going after Bernie, who's got a very short shelf life. There is no party tied to Bernie after that. Are you going to go back to the Democrats? You going to slip back into the establishment? Vote blue no matter who? What you going to do? 2020's coming. Bernie's going to be 80. What are you doing? What have you set up for the future, folks? You going to wait another 20 years for another perfect progressive party to come along and have done everything just right for 20 years? What are you going to do? I'm serious. Do you want them to fear progressives? Then stop acting like Peter Pan and Count Chocula. Start behaving like you got a set. There is no way that this op-deny 270 crap is helping progressives in any way, shape, or form. There's no way these selfish media groups, these selfish individuals within the media, the so-called progressive media that hog up time with candidates and don't let others in. There's no way that people that are in this for all the wrong reasons are helping this movement. What is the long-term deal with op-deny 270? Help me out. What is the long-term deal? What do you think you're fixing it this go-round? Again, grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula. What is the long-term plan with op-deny 270? Who is the party you're running in 2020? If you can't answer that question, you should not be listened to. You are why the establishment laughs at us. If you do not have an understanding of 2018 and 2020, and you're trying to herd us to do something that shoots us in the junk, a literal gunshot wound to the junk, it's no wonder they don't even take us seriously at all. At all. You play your games for 2016, and our long-term prognosis is nil. You want to be taken seriously? You want this movement to be taken seriously? Then think 5 feet ahead of your nose. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Not me, us. You want to make change, it's not going to happen on November 8th. November 8th is where you cast your conscience, you vote your conscience, you vote your values. And in 2020, you pray to God we did enough homework now that we've been woken up to unseat whatever unholy child is in office, and we get a real progressive in the White House. It's tough when you've been asleep for many, many years. The world has woken up. You want to be taken seriously, do serious things. Op-deny 270 is a clown game. There is no long-term benefit to it. None. We're not winning shit. Okay, hypothetically, you get it kicked back to Congress. And you think the Republicans are going to do what? Really? I'm listening. It's stupid. It is literally like taking a howitzer and blowing your sack off. It's dumb. We need a long-term strategy. And whining and complaining that the Green Party isn't where you want it, when you get done with this video, go to your bathroom, look in the mirror, and say, what have I done to help the Green Party? What have I done to help? Give them a ground game? How many cold calls have I made? How much money have I donated? How much time have I donated? And if your answer is none or very little, I suggest you reserve your judgment and start thinking about how you can be a factor in 2020. It starts now, and it starts with your vote on November 8th. Writing in Mickey Mouse because you don't like any of the above is stupid. Jill Stein's on the ballot in almost every state. There's like 1 or 2 states where you can't even write her in. But guess what? There's enough states there that have Bernie-crats, burners, progressives, and independents wanted the establishment to tremble in their boots. There are enough states to send that shockwave up north, all around the world, Jeremy Corbyn style. Syriza, Greece style. But you just can't get out of your own way. Op deny 270 is op progressive screw up 270. And I am bitterly disappointed. I don't hate anybody. I'm just disgusted, like you took a shit in my living room. That kind of disgusted. I want the establishment to care about what we do. It's the only shot we got at making change, folks. It's the only shot. Look around you. Look at the people that call themselves progressives, and ask, which one of them understands the issues? Which one of them understands what's happening in 4 years? Which one of them understands a long-term game? Which one of them is not getting a case of the feels about a candidate that doesn't have any long-term viability? That's not running. That has told you not to do it. Folks, if you ever want to be more than a laughing stock or a punchline at a drinking game, or just basically mocked and ridiculed, think 5 feet in front of your nose and vote accordingly. Vote for the lone progressive still running. Always support progressives wherever they are. And stop this cult of personality stuff. It's shameful. It's embarrassing. It's lesser vessel kind of stuff. It's like flashing the big old L, a neon L on your forehead that makes them all go, I don't need to take them very seriously because they can't think 5 minutes ahead. They're like children. They've got to do it now. With that, I'm going to bed, gang. I love you. Have a great night. Steve of Real Progressives. I'm out.